方が我が弟子と。
If you look at Asura's Wrath's parts, you will not find a single unique concept or innovation. However, when viewed as a complete work, the eclectic jumble sale of ideas that is Asura's Wrath becomes a unique and enjoyable gaming experience.
Your soul is eternal.
Asura's Wrath is conceptually an interactive anime TV series, complete with episodes, recaps and previews. You even get mid-episode title cards, which seems utterly redundant due to the lack of advertising. Still, it effectively sets up the pretense that you are experiencing a TV show and not a traditional computer game. Asura's Wrath is a love letter to shonen manga and the anime that it spawns. Dragon Ball Z and Naruto have both been heavily bastardised here, but sadly Asura's Wrath fails to match either show in terms of story or characters. Asura is one of the 8 demigod guardian generals that protects the world from the Goma, a mindless race of beasts that come in the form of various animals that look like they've been turned inside out. Asura scores a great victory against the Goma, but on his return home finds himself framed for the murder of the Emperor and that his wife has been murdered. This alone would certainly justify enough wrath to fill a game, however he is also killed by his former colleagues and awakes in the underworld with very little memory of his past. When Asura finally returns, he finds that 1,200 years have passed and the remaining 7 demigods are now the 7 deities who ritually harvest the souls of mankind to fuel their intergalactic hijinks. The deities are also using Asura's daughter to channel the souls of mankind into an energy source known as mantra. Unlike popular animes such as Naruto or One Piece, Asura's Wrath lacks complex and interesting characters, and as a result you do not connect with them in the same way. There is a moment where Asura is consumed by his rage, transforming into a hugely powerful beast, and while it is strongly reminiscent of becoming Super Saiyan or Naruto going into Nine Tails mode, it lacks any real impact because you don't really care that someone he knew died. Still, that isn't to say that Asura's Wrath fails to be an entertaining story. It is an utterly ridiculous tale, and it is played out with an operatic sense of the dramatic, but those are actually positive things. You can play in either English or Japanese dialogue, but be warned, the lip syncing is timed to the English version. I quickly opted for the Japanese audio. The Japanese are just better at voice acting. There are a lot of weird lines that are comfortable to read, but really cringeworthy when delivered in English.
Have you forgotten that I am most concerned when the beauty of destruction is before me?
Graphically, Asura's Wrath adopts a cel-shaded style with heavy brushstrokes rather than a more conventionally clean animation effect. The world of Asura's Wrath is criminally underpopulated. You only ever see a handful of the humans you are supposedly saving at any one point, which makes it feel desolate and barren. This is a shame because the whole point is that you care about this planet, but it really only ever serves as a playground for the gods. Where the game excels is the art direction. While not looking in any way original, the characters and environments look really cool. The deities are all unique and have a distinct character and style. You cannot judge Asura's Wrath out of context. To appreciate this game, you must play it and watch all of the story unfold. Much like Metal Gear Solid 4, the game is insubstantial when skipping the cutscenes. Much of the game is played out in cutscenes, which have occasional QuickTime events. Thankfully, the QuickTime events are really generous, usually allowing incorrect commands and sluggish response times. In between these events are action sequences such as battles against groups of enemies, on-rail shooting sections, or boss battles. These sequences are mixed up so gameplay stays fun and are simple enough not to require too much practice. The most disappointing aspect is the shooting sections, which require very little skill to pass. The flip side of this is the boss battles are really rewarding and very OTT. The basic goal throughout the game is to build up your rage bar, which allows you to unleash extremely powerful finishing moves. Bosses don't actually have life bars, so fights take as long as it takes you to fill your gauge. As I mentioned before, Asura's Wrath has an operatic sense of the dramatic. This is largely down to the score, which is very old school. The sound is somewhat reminiscent of an old American sci-fi film like War of the Worlds. This is combined with Eastern influences and even the Old West. The result is a powerful sound that rarely misses the mark. The music for the battle between Asura and his master August is especially excellent and reminiscent of Wagner. The flip side to this is that the audio is poorly mixed and the dialogue is often drowned out.
Times one must throw a stone into standing waters to save its attraction.
Asura's Wrath isn't a traditional computer game, but a successful attempt at a piece of cross-media. It is both a TV show and a game, and understanding this will heavily influence your appreciation of the results. With little over 8 hours of content, and at least 50% of that being cutscenes, I cannot recommend a purchase. However, that isn't to say that I don't recommend that you play the game. Asura's Wrath would make a great rental, as you can finish it in a couple of evenings and feel that you have got your money's worth.